A Capitol insurrectionist who was released on a pretrial bond has been caught stockpiling weapons. Federal prosecutors are now seeking to revoke the pretrial release of a former police officer, Thomas Robertson, who was charged in the January 6th Capitol insurrection after he had purchased 34 guns. No, he was in the insurrection. He went to court, and they said, okay, we'll let you go if you don't buy guns. And then he goes and buys 34 guns. Robertson was ordered by the judge not to possess firearms following his arrest on several charges stemming from the insurrection, including felony disruption of an official proceeding, misdemeanor disorderly conduct in a restricted building. Robertson and another Rocky Mount, Virginia officer, Jacob Fracker, were fired in the wake of the arrests after they posted photos of themselves inside the Capitol and on social media. Prosecutors filed a motion to revoke Robertson's release on Wednesday after the FBI agents served a search warrant in his home where they had found a pipe bomb inside of a box labeled booby trap, in addition to numerous boxes of ammunition. I mean, somebody hears a booby. This guy. Authorities also tracked online gun purchases made by Robertson, who was allegedly storing his arsenal at a local firearms dealership. Interesting. Well, I mean, technically I can't have guns at my home, but I can store them somewhere else so that I can go and access my arsenal when I want to use it. So now, his arsenal, interesting note on that, because he did plan to use it. In fact, here's what the prosecutors wrote about this. The defendant's possession of an explosive device and firearms, coupled with his extreme rhetoric, advocating for violence, indicating no remorse, illustrate that the pending charges are unlikely to serve as a deterrent to future violence. For these reasons, the defendant should be detained. That violent rhetoric, of course, comes from his own social media posts. Again, let me just tell you again. These guys are the FBI's biggest friend because they're just out and open with it. It really shows you how unfamiliar they are with dealing with the consequences of their own actions, that they go and say this stuff. And let me give you an example. He said, quote, this is on Facebook, "The picture of senators cowering on the floor with genuine fear on their faces is the most American thing I've ever seen in my life. The only voice these people will now listen to is violence." Charming. Very charming. He added, CNN and the left are just mad because we actually attacked the government, who is the problem, and not some random small business. The right in one day took the effing U.S. Capitol. Keep poking us. Okay. Yeah, sure, we'll keep poking you. Great. But, you can really tell where he gets his news. The far right. And it's also funny because here's the thing. We in the left actually do have a problem with the government. The government's corrupt. It's owned by big corporations and uses our tax money to bomb brown people overseas and steals oil from them and doesn't do anything about climate change. It's going to kill us all. And all of that stuff. The left is not for any of those things. But these chuds think that, oh no, CNN and the left were aligned and, we're in support of looting and rioting, which, by the way, you also looted and rioted. I'm just saying. Not only that, but they also think the biggest problem of the government is that it's quote unquote too woke. Ah, yes. Wonderful. Here's the thing. The earth is on fire. The rich don't pay their fair share of taxes. The government's controlled by billionaires. And this dipshit thinks that invading the Capitol on behalf of the king of dipshits, Donald Trump.
Big, massive dumps.
Big, massive dumps. Okay? He thinks that reinstating that guy is going to fix his problems. Come on. See, come on, man. There's more. On June 10th, Robertson posted a screenshot of Department of Justice website documenting the charges against him on gunbroker.com, the auction site where he had been purchasing many of the weapons. Another user of the website had posted the question, "Are they proud too?" Robertson responded, "I sure as fuck am." Well, there you go. He is proud. He then wrote, quote, "I said before, they're trying to teach us a lesson. They have, but it's definitely not the intended lesson. I have learned that if you peacefully protest, that you will be arrested, fired, be put on a no-fly list, have your name smeared, an address released by the FBI, so every loon in the U.S. can send you hate mail. I've learned very well that if you dip your toe in the Rubicon, cross it hard and violent, and play for all the marbles." Wow, this guy sounds like he has no marbles left, that he's lost them all. Maybe on the Capitol building. I don't know. But it is kind of ironic that he's talking about, oh, peaceful protest. What about January 6th was peaceful? And look, when it comes to right-wing protest, the cops never get involved. They're too busy cracking heads at Black Lives Matter protests, which are overall 93% peaceful. And he's also, of course, complaining about the left. But what's funny is that he's actually getting a taste of what it's like to be a leftist in this country. Ironically. Again, look at what happened at Standing Rock. Okay, look at what happened at Occupy Wall Street. Look at what happened at any leftist, anti-capitalist protest. This is how they treat the left. This is how they treat black protesters. By comparison, what happened at the Capitol on January 6th with these guys was actually pretty tame. It was a tame response. And why do I say that? Because there's numerous video of police officers letting them in. And, of course, they went in, they smeared shit all over the walls, all over the floors. They let them do vandalism, theft, and they, of course, they milled around, talking about how they want to hang
Mike Pounds,
or hang my pants or whatever. And understand that if this had been Black Bloc, it would have been a massacre. Complete and utter massacre. So, and understand, like, Ashley Babbitt, by the way, and it's, of course, the conservatives can bring that up, Ashley Babbitt was shot by a police officer. She knew what she was doing. She fucked around, and she found out. And apparently now, so will this guy. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.